Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're partnering with Shroom Traders to explore something pretty fascinating. Cordyceps mushrooms.
Yes.
They're having a moment right now in the wellness world, so we're going to go beyond the hype today and really dive deep into a blog post by Shroom Traders themselves.
All right.
It's called The Wonders of Cordyceps Mushrooms, Nature's Treasure for Health and Vitality.
Wow.
Now, what makes these mushrooms so special?
Well,
Imagine a mushroom that grows out of an insect.
yeah, it's not your typical fairy tale mushroom, that's for sure.
No kidding.
What's fascinating is that there are actually many species of Cordyceps, but the two that really stand out are Cordyceps sinensis and Cordyceps militaris.
Got it.
Both have a long history of use in traditional medicine, particularly in Asia.
Okay, so we've got parasitic mushrooms used by ancient healers.
Yeah.
I'm already hooked.
Great.
But before we get to the history, you've got to break down this life cycle for me. How does a mushroom end up sprouting out of an insect? It sounds like science fiction.
It's definitely a unique process. Imagine a Cordyceps spore landing on an unsuspecting insect larva, usually in the soil.
Okay.
This spore is like a tiny seed waiting for the right conditions to germinate.
Right.
And when it does, it starts to grow inside the larva, slowly replacing the insect's tissue with its own fungal network.
So it's like a slow-motion takeover from the inside out.
Yes.
That's a little creepy, but also super cool.
It is one of nature's most incredible feats of adaptation. And what's even more amazing is that the larva often stays alive during this process.
Oh, wow.
Eventually, though, the fungus completely consumes the larva, and that's when the magic happens.
Okay.
A fruiting body, the part we typically recognize as a mushroom, emerges from the insect's remains.
It's both beautiful and bizarre at the same time. No wonder cordyceps have captivated people for centuries.
Right.
And speaking of centuries, let's talk about those traditional uses in Asian medicine.
Okay.
This blog post mentions emperors and royalty using cordyceps. That's quite the endorsement.
It really is. In traditional Chinese and Tibetan medicine, cordyceps were considered a precious remedy used to boost energy, support lung health, and even enhance libido.
Wow.
They were believed to replenish qi, which is the vital life force according to these traditions.
So they were basically seen as a cure-all, boosting everything from energy to vitality.
Well, cure-all might be a stretch,
Okay.
but it's clear that cordyceps were highly valued in these traditional medical systems.
Right.
What's really intriguing is that modern science is actually starting to validate some of these traditional uses.
Wait, so it's not just ancient folklore. There's actual scientific evidence to support the benefits of cordyceps.
Yes, and that's where things get really exciting.
Okay.
Scientists have isolated specific bioactive compounds within cordyceps that are responsible for their remarkable effects.
Interesting.
One of the most well-known is cordycepin.
Okay.
It has shown impressive results in studies, especially when it comes to energy production and athletic performance.
Okay, now we're talking. Tell me more about how cordyceps can boost energy. I'm always looking for a natural pick-me-up.
Well, remember how traditional healers believed cordyceps could increase qi or vital energy?
Yeah.
Modern research suggests that they may actually improve the way our bodies use oxygen. One study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine even found that cordyceps supplementation significantly improved exercise performance in older adults.
So not just a myth, but a potential real-life energy booster.
Yes.
This is starting to sound like a superfood. But what about the science behind other traditional uses, like for lung health? Was that just wishful thinking, or is there something more to it?
That's a great question. While more research is always needed, there are studies that suggest cordyceps can have a positive impact on respiratory health.
Okay.
They seem to enhance oxygen utilization, which could be beneficial for conditions like asthma or COPD.
Wow, so they might actually help people breathe easier.
Potentially.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm already starting to see why these mushrooms are so popular.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away, are there any downsides?
That's where we'll pick up in part 2 of our deep dive. We'll explore potential side effects, address sustainability concerns, and discuss how to choose the right cordyceps products for you. Stay tuned.
All right, sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of cordyceps, brought to you by Shroom Traders.
We're picking up right where we left off, uncovering the science behind these fascinating fungi and how they could benefit you.
That's right. We've talked about cordyceps boosting energy and supporting lung health.
Right.
But remember, research on these mushrooms is ongoing.
Okay.
And it's essential to approach any supplement with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay, so let's get into it. You mentioned potential downsides. What should people be aware of before they start adding cordyceps to their smoothies?
Well, cordyceps are generally considered safe, but as with any supplement, some people might experience mild side effects, like an upset stomach or diarrhea, especially at the beginning.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Our bodies need time to adjust. Anything else?
It's always a good idea to start with a low dose and see how you feel. And of course, if you're pregnant, nursing, or have any medical conditions, it's crucial to talk to your doctor before trying cordyceps.
Safety first. Good advice.
Yeah.
But let's say someone gets the all clear from their doctor and is ready to give cordyceps a try. What are their options? Are we talking about foraging in the woods for these things?
Thankfully, no. You don't need to be a seasoned mushroom hunter to benefit from cordyceps.
Okay, good.
Shroom Traders, our partners for this episode, offer a variety of high-quality cordyceps products that make it super easy to incorporate them into your routine.
I'm seeing capsules, powders, even teas. So many options.
Yeah.
How do you choose the right one?
It really depends on your personal preference and how you want to use them. Capsules are a convenient option for those who want a pre-measured dose.
Okay.
Powders, on the other hand, give you more flexibility. You can add them to smoothies, yogurt, or even your coffee.
So if I'm a creature of habit, capsules might be the way to go, but if I like to mix things up, powders offer more versatility.
Exactly. And if you're looking for a more traditional experience, there's always cordyceps tea.
Oh, nice.
It's a soothing and flavorful way to enjoy the benefits of these mushrooms.
It's like a warm hug for your health. But with all these options, how can you be sure you're getting a good quality product?
That's a great question. It's essential to choose a reputable brand that prioritizes sustainable sourcing and high-quality ingredients.
That makes sense. We talked about the overharvesting of wild cordyceps earlier.
Right. Thankfully, cultivated cordyceps, especially Cordyceps militaris, have become increasingly popular.
Okay.
Cultivation not only protects wild populations, but often results in higher concentrations of beneficial compounds.
So cultivated cordyceps are a win-win for both our health and the environment.
Exactly. And Shroom Traders is committed to providing sustainably sourced and high-quality cordyceps products. They carefully select their suppliers and ensure their mushrooms are tested for purity and potency.
That's great to hear. Okay, so we've covered safety, different product types, and the importance of choosing quality sources. But let's go back to the benefits for a minute. We talked about energy and lung health, but this blog post hints at even more potential benefits, right?
Yes. One area that's particularly intriguing is the potential impact of cordyceps on the immune system.
Okay.
They contain powerful compounds that act as immunomodulators.
Hold on, immunomodulators. You're going to have to break that down for me.
Of course. Immunomodulators help to regulate the immune system, ensuring it's functioning optimally. They can help boost immune response when needed or calm it down when it's overreacting.
So it's like fine-tuning your immune system to keep it in peak condition.
That's a great way to put it. And there's evidence suggesting that cordyceps can stimulate the activity of certain immune cells, like natural killer cells, which play a crucial role in fighting off infections and even abnormal cells.
Wow. So they're not just boosting the immune system, they're making it smarter and more efficient. That's impressive.
It really is. And then there's the research on cordyceps and oxidative stress.
Okay, I know oxidative stress is bad, but can you remind me why?
Oxidative stress is essentially an imbalance between free radicals, which are harmful molecules, and antioxidants, which neutralize them.
Got it. Free radicals bad, antioxidants good.
Exactly. And what's exciting is that cordyceps are packed with antioxidants. These antioxidants can help protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals, which is linked to everything from premature aging to various diseases.
So cordyceps are like a shield against cellular damage.
That's a great way to visualize it. And the potential benefits don't stop there. Some studies even suggest that cordyceps may have anti-inflammatory properties and could play a role in supporting healthy blood sugar levels.
Wow, the list just keeps growing. But before we get lost in all the science, I want to bring it back to the listener. What's the key takeaway here?
The key takeaway is that cordyceps are fascinating fungi with a wide range of potential benefits. While more research is always needed, the existing evidence suggests they could be valuable allies for supporting energy levels, lung health, immune function, and overall well-being.
So if someone is curious about cordyceps, what's the best way to learn more?
We'll dive into that in part 3, where we'll discuss how to responsibly explore the world of cordyceps and other medicinal mushrooms.
Sounds good. And don't forget to check the episode description for a link to Shroom Traders' favorite Cordyceps products.
Yes.
They've got you covered no matter how you want to try these incredible mushrooms. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of our deep dive into the incredible world of Cordyceps mushrooms.
It's been quite a journey.
We've partnered with Shroom Traders to uncover the science and history
Yes.
and potential benefits of these fascinating fungi. I'm definitely feeling more energized just talking about them.
Good.
But before we wrap up, I have to ask,
Okay.
are there any real-life stories of people benefiting from cordyceps? I love hearing how these things actually play out in people's lives.
Absolutely. While it's important to remember that anecdotes aren't the same as scientific evidence,
Right.
there are some fascinating stories that illustrate the potential of cordyceps.
Okay, I'm all ears. Spill the tea.
One story that stands out involves a group of elderly villagers in a remote region of Nepal
Interesting.
who have been consuming cordyceps as part of their traditional diet for generations.
That sounds like the perfect setting for a health discovery.
Right. Researchers who studied this group found that these villagers had remarkable stamina and vitality. Despite their age and living in challenging conditions,
Cool.
they reported feeling energetic, rarely getting sick, and maintaining an active lifestyle well into their 80s and 90s.
Wow, they're like the real-life version of those centenarians who claim their secret is a glass of wine and a good laugh every day.
Well, in this case, it might be cordyceps and a good yak milk tea.
There you go.
Of course, we can't say for sure that cordyceps are the sole reason for their longevity, but
Right.
it's a fascinating observation.
It definitely adds to the intrigue. And what about the world of athletics? We talked about cordyceps potentially enhancing athletic performance.
Yes.
Are there any stories of athletes actually using them successfully?
There are. Many endurance athletes, particularly runners and cyclists,
Okay.
have reported significant improvements in their training and recovery after incorporating cordyceps into their routines.
It makes sense given what we've learned about their potential to increase oxygen uptake and reduce fatigue.
Exactly. And while more research is needed to confirm these effects,
Of course.
the anecdotal evidence is certainly compelling.
It is. Okay, so we've got ancient villagers in Nepal, endurance athletes pushing their limits. It sounds like cordyceps are well on their way to becoming the next superfood superstar. But before everyone rushes out to buy them,
Yeah.
what about responsible exploration? What advice would you give to someone who's ready to try cordyceps?
That's such an important question. As with any supplement or wellness trend, it's crucial to approach cordyceps with a balanced perspective. Here are a few things to keep in mind.
Okay, I'm taking notes. What's
Yeah.
number one?
Number one, do your research. Don't just rely on hype or testimonials.
Right.
Look for reputable sources of information like scientific studies, expert opinions, and trusted brands like Shroom Traders.
So be an informed consumer and go beyond the marketing claims. What else?
Number two, talk to your doctor, especially if you have any underlying health conditions or are taking medications.
Go.
Cordyceps can interact with certain medications,
Got it.
and it's always better to err on the side of caution.
Got it. Safety first. Check with your doctor. Do your research. What's number three?
Number three, start slow and listen to your body.
Okay.
Just like with any new food or supplement, it's best to introduce cordyceps gradually and pay attention to how you feel. Start with a low dose and increase it slowly if needed.
That makes sense. Our
Right.
bodies are all different, and what works for one person might not work for another.
Exactly. And lastly, remember that cordyceps are not a magic bullet. They're a
Right.
potential tool for supporting overall well-being, but they work best as part of a holistic approach to health.
So don't ditch your healthy habits and rely solely on cordyceps to do the heavy lifting.
Right. Combine them with a balanced diet, regular exercise, stress management, and good sleep habits.
It's all about creating a synergy for optimal health. And speaking of synergy, I'm really grateful for this partnership with Shroom Traders. They've been such a great resource for this deep dive, providing valuable insights and helping us navigate the world of cordyceps responsibly.
Absolutely. Shroom Traders is a fantastic example of a company that prioritizes quality,
Yes.
sustainability, and education. And don't forget to check the episode description for a link to their favorite cordyceps products.
Yeah.
They've got something for everyone,
Right.
whether you prefer capsules, powders, or even delicious cordyceps tea.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of these fascinating fungi. I think the key takeaway for me is that nature is full of surprises, and there's so much more to discover about the healing power of the natural world.
I couldn't agree more. And who knows, maybe someday cordyceps will be as common in our kitchens as shiitake and portobello mushrooms are today.
That's a future I'm excited to see. Thanks for tuning in to our deep dive into cordyceps mushrooms. We hope you learned something new and maybe even feel inspired to explore the world of medicinal mushrooms yourself.
Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.